welcome everyone, welcome back. Sorry about that, I had technical difficulties, but I'm back. So I'm just creating a poll right now for those of you who have just joined and who missed the beginning of my live. I will be creating Tamagotchis today for the first time. I'm going to sculpt them from polymer clay. So I'm just making a poll for color options because I don't know what colors I want to do. So I'm going to put a few options, and if you don't see one that you like in the poll, then you can just type it in the chat, and my awesome moderator Tristan, he will tell me what everyone seems to like the most for a color palette. So welcome back, thank you for joining me again. Sorry I had a malfunction. I'm still new to lives, I'm still getting used to it. I'm not gonna let it fluster me or get me upset, but I'm back and I'm glad that you are all here to join me for an evening sculpt. If you do want to see what happens, I did save the blooper on my page, so you can go back and see what I did. But thanks for joining, welcome, and I hope we have a nice relaxing sculpt. I'm going to be sculpting Tamagotchis today, so I'm not going to do the uni, I'm going to do like the more vintage one. So it'll be the first generation Tamagotchi, and this is the one that I just got. I actually did an unboxing for this also on my page, so you can go and look at that live. But this is what we're going to be sculpting today. I don't know if I'm going to make them into earrings, into dangles, into studs, into a keychain, but we're going to be sculpting a smaller version of, not this exact one, but of a Tamagotchi. And I did put a poll in the chat if you'd like to pick an option of what colors you think I should do, and if there's a theme that you think I should put on the shell, because I'm going to sculpt the shell in a color, but I'm thinking of also doing a design. I kind of have one in my head, but I want to see what other people have for their ideas, and maybe we can do a collab where we're going to merge our ideas together. So this is what I'm going to be sculpting. I'm just going to get situated and we're going to start soon. So if you can quickly go into the chat and pick which color option you like the best of what you'd like me to sculpt, and they will be miniature, so it's not going to be this size. It's going to be probably like a third of this. Actually, I don't know, we'll see, but it probably won't be any bigger than this. So if you like miniatures, stay tuned, because we're going to be sculpting a miniature Tamagotchi from polymer clay. So leave your comments in the chat. Please vote what color options you'd like to see. Cast your votes, cast your votes. I see them coming in. Let's see. What color option would you like me to sculpt this Tamagotchi in? The poll is down below the chat. And if you don't see an option in the poll that you like, you can please leave it in the chat, and my moderator will let me know what those options are. Cast your votes, cast your votes. Okay, so I see there's a tie between pastel and vibrant, which is like, I love vibrant colors and I love pastel colors. So that's going to be a difficult one. I can tell you what my idea is, and I just came up with this idea maybe 10 minutes ago before I came live. I would love to sculpt, for those of you who know my work, I sculpt from polymer clay. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I love to paint, but I've recently became passionate about polymer clay. I now like to paint with clay, so it's like I'm painting with clay, but instead of paint, it's clay, and I make a lot of landscape earrings. Let me see if I can show you a pair. I actually do have a pair right here that I can show you, so you have an idea for those of you who are not familiar with my work. So these are a pair of Peggy Cove earrings in Nova Scotia in Canada, where I live. I don't live in Nova Scotia. but I live in Ontario, Canada, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So I sculpted these, and they're all made from polymer clay, and I do a lot of miniatures from polymer clay. So my idea was, if we can get a nice base color for the Tamagotchi, I think maybe we can decorate it with a landscape. What do you guys think? So it's like I'm combining the technique of kind of painting with clay with my earrings as well, but on a Tamagotchi. So what do you guys think about that? We'll pick maybe a pastel color for the base of the Tamagotchi, and then if there's not enough time to sculpt a mini landscape, it won't be this detailed, but something similar to this on the Tamagotchi, I think that would look really cool. So let me know what you think in the chat. Purple, ooh yeah, purples are nice. Maybe we could do a sunset. I think I'm becoming too ambitious now, but let's see. Yeah, like a gradation. Okay, so let's try that. So I have a poll in the chat, and so far pastel and vibrant colors are the popular choice, and purple. So let's do a collab to incorporate all of these items together. Yeah, so I'm going to end the poll because it's in the way of my comments. Perfect. Okay, so let's see. So we're going to start off with the base. Just going to move these out the way. I'm having some sparkling water for those of you who love sparkling water. This is pineapple sparkling water. It's in my blooper video. And then this is a pineapple candle to be on theme. Pineapple and pineapple. Okay. Hydration. All right, so let's start. So I'm going to keep my Tama over here for reference, not in the way and distracting. It is sleeping, so that's a good thing. There won't be beeps. But my other one's still awake. It'll be sleeping soon. She will be sleeping soon. Yeah, you'll hear a couple of beeps, and you'll see me just stop for a second. It's just to put it to bed. But anyways, so we're going to start off with, let's see. I like this green. So this is not planned. So everything I'm doing right now is in collaborations with everyone online. Like, I'm just winging it. I've never sculpted a Tamagotchi before. So the beauty of that is you're going to see the mistakes I make. And it happens whenever I make something for the first time, there's a mistake, and you'll see my problem solving skills come into play where I have to figure out what I'm doing because it might not be working. But I'm glad you're here to see me do that. So I think this would be good for the base. And this is a pastel color. I saw purple. So what kind of purple do you guys like? This dark purple. And remember, I can mix colors. I do mix colors a lot. This light purple and green actually look really good together, and that's actually like my company colors for my markets. I usually have the green is my base color, but then when I do the lights on my table, I actually glow them purple. The aubergine, so that would be the darker one, right? The eggplant. This one, yes, or the lighter one. Or I have a lilac. This is mixed colors. A lilac. I feel like we're doing Ninja Turtles. I think this is too pink, so no. Oh, I do have these lighter purples. So that's a lilac. This is like a, I don't want to say a dirty purple, but it's like a mauve. We'll skip that one. A really, really dark purple. And then a true purple, we can say a plum. This is a nice plum color. So which one do you like to go with this green? You can leave your comment in the chat. Which purple do you like to match with this green? The plum is nice. This one or the aubergine? Top left. How about this? I'm gonna do these together, and these will be the accents. The top left or right? Yeah, the right I like. We'll do these, and then we'll incorporate these colors for the accent colors for the details on the Tamagotchi. So good things about Tamagotchi, it's Tama egg. So it's like an egg shape, just flat. So that'll be easy to sculpt. So first thing we're gonna do is condition the clay because it's hard right now. And we need to warm it up in our hands. That's what I mean by condition. I feel like I'm giving a lesson. That's good, now you guys are learning. So we're gonna get our little blade. And I lost, oh here it is. I lost it during my recent fight with the tripod. Okay, so we're gonna use our blade and we're gonna cut some clay off. You can see I mixed other colors in here too. It's just to keep it together. Okay, so we're gonna be doing, how big should we make these? Should I make them into earrings? Earrings, keychains, pin? Earrings so I can wear them? What do you guys think? They'll be one of a kind because I'm only making one. Let's go with earrings. So I think that's enough green. So what I like to do is chop it into little pieces. Oh, they look like little peas. No, it's just like I rolled up the clay. I was probably doing something with it, and I usually roll it back and just put it in the container. So I wasn't really going to talk today, but I guess I am. So I can walk you guys through the steps. So I'm just chopping it into pieces to make it easier to condition. And I'm going to condition. Yeah, I'm going to do dangles. Good idea. Thank you. So now it's like going to be easier to crumble and put it together. And I'm going to condition it with my hands. I'm not going to put this through my Lucy, my pasta machine, or clay machine, I should say, the clay roller. Because it's so small, it's just going to get lost in there. So I'm just going to do this by hand. Lot more malleable now. So I said I was going to do this lighter color, right? Right? Okay. So let's do the same thing. So this is a new pack. I'm just checking to see if I have another one open. I don't think I do. No. So we're going to open this new one with Fimo, one of my favorite companies. I like they have these little stickers here, because I use that to reseal it after. So it just has like the number of the clay and the name. But I always peel these off and I keep this. I'll show you. When you open the clay like this, you just pop it open like that. Open it up like this. Then I'm just gonna cut piece off. Then to seal it, you just wrap it back up and you use a sticker to close it. One of the things I really like about Fimo. And then look, so neat. And then it goes back in my drawer with my other colors. I really like females packaging for that. Okay, so let's do this beautiful lilac color. This looks really nice. Good. Thank you for the suggestion on the purple. Online house party. You guys had a great live last night. For those of you who like good conversation, you should join the online house party every Tuesday from 8 to 10 on Twitch. So that's the online house party. Definitely join in to their live. They have a lot of good discussions, a really lively chat and interaction with the chat, which is really cool too. So definitely make sure you try and join them next Tuesday from 8 to 10 on Twitch, and that's the online house party. Shout out to them. And thanks for the color suggestion, because I think these look really cool together. Thank you to my moderator for putting those links in the chat. So go ahead and check those out. Now I'm just feeling for, I explained this last time on my other live, I like to roll clay in my hands together because I can feel if they're the same size, if one's too thick and one's too small, and I'll just keep playing with it until they feel like they're even. So that's what I'm doing right now, just to portion them out. There's easier ways to do it, but because I like to play with clay in my hands, for me, this is very relaxing, very therapeutic. So I know there are easier ways, but this is just the way I do it, and I really enjoy doing it. So now these do feel very similar. This one has a little bit more, like a very tiny bit. I think I took too much off. They're very close. So that's good. So this will be, I think, the top, right? What do you guys think? This will be the top, and then we'll do the bottom green, because I want to do a landscape design on the Tamagotchi. That's what we're making for those who just joined. So I'm going to do the same thing again to try and get them an even portion. Sometimes I'm really good at it. I can eyeball it and cut it pretty close, but sometimes I'm really off. Yeah, so that and that one. So now I'm just going to sculpt into the shape of a Tamagotchi. I smush them together, and I'm just going to shape them with my hands, and I'll let you guys have a little ASMR moment and just vibe with the music and just watch me while I sculpt these into this shape. good question. So I actually thought about that when I was doing my water break before I started my live. I'm going to let it settle for a bit. I'm going to carve out a square and I'm going to pour resin in it once it's baked. I thought about that too for the screen. So the question is, how will you go about the screen? The main model looks like it's receded within the plastic housing. How does KJB, that's me, Kit and Jelly Boutique, go about recreating and sculpting that with clay? So I'm going to actually dig it out. So with sculpting, you can add clay and you can take away clay, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Clay's a little bit too soft because it is in my hands. My room is warm and there is a candle right here too. So all these heat sources is making the clay a lot softer, even though Sculpty is a harder clay. You can see that it's like, you can see my fingerprints in there. So you know it's getting really warm. So I'm just going to let it sit on this tile for a bit. And then I will sculpt into it and take out a square for the screen. And then I will pour UV resin into the screen once it's finished. And thank you for that comment. Really good observation. Definitely thought about that today, how I'll do that. So thank you for that comment. If you have any more comments, please leave them in the chat. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for details that we're going to put on this after, definitely leave them below. For those of you who missed the poll in the beginning, it was a poll for the colors. We're sculpting miniature Tamagotchi earrings for myself. These are going to be one of a kind because I'm only doing one pair for myself. And this is my first time sculpting Tamagotchis out of polymer clay. I just started collecting them maybe about a month ago. I already have 3. And these were a huge part of my childhood, so it's fun to have them again as an adult and just collect them and have something that is very soothing in between my stressful life, between my full-time job and my small business, which is polymer clay. It's something I can just play with and not have to think about, you know? Not all the time, because it's just they don't need that much care. But, you know, for a 1-2 minute break away from the screen and away from looking at numbers all day at my full-time job, because I work in finance. Just lots of spreadsheets, lots of numbers, lots of budgets. So it's a good break when I want to take a little break away from that. It's calms my mind, so it's a good mental release for me. Okay, so they do look different. As I said, they are hand sculpted, so you can see this one kind of recedes like that, that one goes like that, and that's fine. If you know me, I like things that are different. Sometimes I don't even wear the same earring anyway, so the fact that they're not exactly the same, I like it. This one has a hill, this one has a valley, and I think that looks really cool. So I'm just trying to make sure the shape is even though the design's not even. I'm going to still try and make the size of each earring as even as possible and as realistic as possible for the shape. So I noticed when I was doing it, there is a peak up here, but I think my bottom needs more of a peak, so I'm just going to sculpt that out more. I do have a lot of fingerprints and dust on here, so I am going to clean that up a bit right before we start putting on some details. And of course, because these are going to be dangles, we're going to put an eye pin. So I'm just going to let you guys relax again, because this is supposed to be relaxing, so I don't want to be talking too much. But I'll let you guys watch me sculpt this, add the eye pins, clean it up, and then I'll come back on and we'll talk a little bit more. Again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. And thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate it. So that's the basic shape. What do you guys think? I cleaned it up. Eye pins in there. Had to get those fuzzies out because you know I'm using my hands and I have the fan on behind me. Sorry if I'm sniffling. I have really bad allergies. So the fan is blowing dust. I'm allergic to AC, so I don't have the AC on yet because it's not 30 degrees yet. And I don't want to be taking allergy pills and feeling loopy and sleepy, so it's making me really drowsy. So I just have the fan on, so it is blowing dust everywhere. But this is the basic shape of the Tamagotchi, and it kind of reminds me of an Easter egg. I don't know why. I think it's the pastel colors. I think it's the purple and the blue, the purple and the green together. These pastel colors. It kind of looks like Easter eggs. But if it looks like an egg, that means I'm on the right track since the Tamagotchi is an egg. So thank you for those who just joined. We're sculpting Tamagotchis into earrings, and this is going to be my first time doing this, so it's going to be a trial and error. But thank you for being here with me. If you have any tips along the way, please leave them in the comments below. And if you have any questions, of course, please leave them below and I'll try to answer them in between my sculpting. So I have the eye pin in because I'm going to make these into dangles. So what we're going to do now is before I start, I think this is going to be the hardest thing, which was Tristan's recent comment at the top. He asked me how I'm going to get the screen. So I'm going to have to sculpt into the clay and take clay away in order to get the screen. So first issue is it's going to have to be square, a perfect square. Well, as perfect as it can get it because these are handmade, but there needs to be a square and it needs to be centered. So it's going to take a little bit of concentration for me. So I'm not going to talk while I do this. I'm going to try my best to sculpt a square into these earrings. So wish me luck. Thanks to those who just joined. We're sculpting miniature Tamagotchi earrings. And then after we're going to add designs. For those of you who know me very well, you know that, or not even very well, but you know my business. You know that I like to sculpt polymer clay miniature landscapes. And this is all clay. There's no paint on here, all clay. So I want to do like a nice design on these. So it's going to be really, really small because they're way smaller than these. But that will be the next step. After I do the screen, we'll move on to the decorations. So bear with me now while I try to attempt to sculpt the screens. This being my first time, I know something might go wrong, and that's okay. That's how you learn. You got to make mistakes, right? So thank you for being here with me while I attempt to do this. Okay, so I'm just gonna let the clay settle for a little bit because I did just put the rubbing alcohol on it to get the fuzzies out, and it doesn't break down the clay, but it does soften it a little bit. And I do need the clay to be at least a little bit more firm, because if I do try to cut sharp lines into this, it's gonna be a mushy mess. Like, you know when you have Play-Doh and Play-Doh gets too hot, you can't cut into it, just like crumbles into your hand? The same thing's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna let this sit for a little bit. I'm gonna put the fan on it for 1 minute, and I'm just gonna take a quick washroom break. I've been drinking a lot of water and a lot of sparkling water too. So I'm gonna put the fan on it, let it cool, and I'll be back in about 60 seconds. So this is my portable fan. I love this thing. So I'm just gonna put that on there. The cool air, I'm just gonna put it on the highest setting. the cool air, hopefully there's no fuzzies, but the cool air will let that dry out for a little bit. And I'll be back in 60 seconds while that cools. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat and I'll come back and answer them right away for you. Just letting this cool for a little bit because my hands did heat it up a lot, and I need to cut sharp lines because we're making the screen in my miniature hand sculpted polymer clay earrings. So just letting this cool down a little bit, and I'm going to cut into it, and I hope this works because this is my first time doing this. So wish me luck, and thank you to those who just joined. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're sculpting miniature Tamagotchi earrings. This is my first time doing these, so it's going to be a lot of trial and error today. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope everyone had a great day and they've been having a blessed week. So there would be a faster way to do this, is to throw it into the freezer. So I could throw it into the freezer for maybe about 20 minutes and it would get harder. Not baked, it just, when you warm it up, it gets more malleable and softer. When you bring it back to, I don't want to say room temperature, but when you bring it back to a colder temperature, it gets more stiff. The only way to cure polymer clay is to bake it. But one thing about throwing it in the freezer is that when it does come out, it starts to, you know when you have your water bottle and the condensation, it gets very wet on the outside. That same thing happens with the clay. A lot of condensation starts to build on the clay, and then it gets like slippery again, and it gets soft again. So with the freezer method, you have to work very quickly. Another method would be to put it between two pieces of parchment paper. And sorry, not parchment paper, just like white paper, white printer paper. And the paper will actually soak out the oils because our hands naturally have oil in there. And oil actually breaks down polymer clay. Doesn't break it down completely, but it does start to make it soft from our natural oils on our hands. So the paper, sandwich it between two pieces of paper, will take the oil away. But the thing with that method is either you have to put a weight on it so it can extract the oil faster, or you have to do it overnight. So that's like the slow method. For me right now, this fan is going to be my fastest method, because even with the fridge or the freezer, I have to leave it in there for 20 minutes, and I don't want you guys like sitting here waiting for me for 20 minutes. So it's going to have to be the fan for now, and I'm just going to have to be very precise with how I cut into the screen. So I'm just going to give it another 20 seconds, and then we're going to start cutting into it. Welcome to those who just joined. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. If you have any comments, please leave them in the chat. And thank you for being here with me. Yep. So thank you for that comment, Tristan. He said you can also use a refrigerated semi-frozen stainless steel tray. So I've tried that as well, because sometimes I don't always bake on, well, now I bake only on tile. I used to bake on those aluminum sheets, like, the baking trays, but then it makes the clay shiny on the other side. But the same thing actually happens, Tristan, because I used to put the clay on that stainless steel in the freezer, and the same thing happens, the condensation, so it just all gets wet. But thank you for that. Yeah, it does the same thing. Even on the tile, it's still like the condensation still builds up on the tile too in the freezer. So tile, and I do use ceramic plates that you eat from. Obviously not the plates I eat from. I have plates dedicated to only clay, because you can bake with them, because clay bakes at a low temperature. So I do have ceramic plates for clay, and I put them in the freezer, not for too long because I don't want it to crack, but it does the same thing as well. The condensation builds up. One day, because I'm a nerd and I like to research things, one day I'll research why that happens, with the clay in specific. It is water when it's from a frozen to a salt from a frozen to a liquid state. But why on the clay if the clay doesn't have water in it? Because when you bake polymer clay, it turns to plastic. One day I'll look into the research and see why that happens. Okay, so we're about to sculpt into this. I think it's been good enough now. I did rub an alcohol on here to clean off the dusties, so it did make it a little bit soft. So this one I'm just letting it set for a bit before I cut into it, because I want to have some nice sharp clean lines and a nice square. So I'm going to try my best to make this as square as possible without I'm trying to see if I have a cutter right now. I'm just looking to see if I have a cutter that's square, that's small enough, just to give me an outline. I don't have a ruler, so I'm gonna have to freehand the square. Yeah. So like the smallest one, like I have that's way too big. And then I do have a smaller it's like a rectangle, so I could like just kind of get it for just the shape of it. It's kind of wonky. I don't know what happened. I got it like that. I should have returned it. But let's see. And that's like the beauty of making something for the first time. You have to improvise. So I did mention that before. This is my first time making these, so I have to improvise what I'm doing, and I'm going to make mistakes, and that's okay, because it always happens when I make something for the first time. Even the second time and the third time, I have to figure it out and improvise what I'm doing. So let's try maybe using half of this, just to get the outline so I can kind of see where it's centered, and then I'll go in with my X-Acto knife to actually cut into it deep, and then I'll use my tools to dig out the clay, because I need to create an indent like the screen. And I'm sorry, I keep like covering my nose, is because I keep rubbing my nose. My allergies are really acting up right now, and I don't want to take an allergy pill because it will put me to sleep within 10 minutes. So it sounds stuffy, I apologize. And I keep rubbing my nose, so I'm sorry if my voice is muffled. It's just I keep rubbing my nose with a tissue. Okay. So let's jump in. Let's do this. does that look? I feel like I could have left a little bit more. Actually, the top and the bottom is pretty even. Top and bottom looks pretty even. How's that look? What do you guys think? The space, yeah, the space for my buttons. So I do need to put it up a little bit more, like maybe here. But pretty good, right? For a wonky rectangular stamp. Like I said, this is my first time doing it, so I'm winging it right now with you guys. And we'll problem solve together. Because I know I'm going to make mistakes, because I always make mistakes when I'm doing something for the first time. So that's the beauty of art. You learn. You make the mistake, and then you learn from it. You improve your technique. Okay, so I'm just going to do that here. Like that, and then we'll flip it. And I'll put it a little higher because the button's at the bottom. So this is just an outline, okay? See, this one's more wonky. Okay, hold on. This one's definitely less straight than the other one. And it's also because this is wonky. Like, look at it. Look at that. What is that? That's not even a rectangle. The top part is, well, down here is not, but the top of this, so this is the part that I'm trying to cut with up here because it's the straightest part, but everything else is wonky. It is what it is. I just need it for an outline. It's not going to cut into it. I'm going to manually cut into it with my hands. But I'm just using this as a reference guide of where I need to cut. So let's see. That one looks so good, and this always happens. You always have one that's really, 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 really good, and then the other one's just kind of like meh, which is this one here. But I will fix that up with my hand. When I'm cutting with my hands, I'll try and fix this one. Okay, but what do you guys think of that positioning? Looks good? Thumbs up? Likes? Some likes if it looks good. So I'm going to start with this one because I think I like this one the most. It's the most even. So let's start with that. So I'm just going to go into, I'm going to make my own lines and then I'll start digging. But I'm going to put on some, I'm going to turn up the music because for this I want to focus. So I won't talk so much, but please leave your comments. And then once we sculpt into these Tamagotchi earrings, I will lower the music and then answer your comments. So please leave them and don't forget to like the video. Thank you, Tristan, for that question. Totally made me giggle. How low, approximately how low are you digging down? So if you noticed, for those of you who are sharp, if you noticed right here, I dug too low. You saw the eye pin, right? So I took more clay because I have it here and I added it back because this is kind of like my anchor. This needs to be in the clay in there good so that the earrings don't fall off of the earring won't fall off the eye pin. So I'm not going too low because you got to remember I do have an eye pin. So you can see it's like about halfway into the clay. So I don't want to dig too low. This one I did very well. It's actually too shallow. Yeah, that's too shallow. This one's much deeper. So I'm going to dig a little bit more out of this one. I forgot I had these pliers. So they're actually not for your eyebrows. These are pliers, not pliers. What would you call these? Tweezers, tweezers. So these tweezers are actually to pick up like these pieces, like small pieces like this for jewelry. So you can see that's not for your eyebrows. They're very, very sharp. The end is very sharp. You know, how many times I've poked myself with this and drew blood. But yeah, so I'm gonna go back and dig out a little bit more because this is too high. And I think this is a good depth. As you can see, you can still see a lip on the edge. This is a good depth, so when I pour the resin, it will look more like a screen because the screen kind of does go lower. This is just the glass, but there's a screen underneath, so it would go lower. So I think this is good. I'm just gonna clean up the edges. I do use the rubbing alcohol to clean up little edges. It doesn't take out big imperfections, but it will take out the smaller ones. Like, see how this is a little bit bumpy here? Like, just rubbing that on will just smooth it out because it's on the surface. Is anything deeper, you're going to have to either use your finger to rub it in or fill it in and then try and even it out. But for something that's surface, like a surface roughness like that, the rubbing alcohol will smooth it out. As you can see, look, that looks good, right? And in here, I'm not too worried because when you use resin, resin will level out. So in here will look a lot more even. So I'm not worried about the inside. I was trying to make it a little bit more presentable by patting it down with my little tool here. And I did try and even it out, and also to cover up that eye pin that I accidentally revealed. So I think that one looks good. What do you think? Because I was actually nervous about this one because I did kind of mess it up. The shape didn't look so good, but with the cutter, the shape didn't look good with this cookie cutter or clay cutter, but I was able to fix it up with my hands. And I'm pretty happy with the way this one looks. So we're just going to go back and I think it looks really good, right guys? So we're going to go back and I'm just going to dig out this a little bit more. It'll probably take me about 2 minutes and then we'll move on to the next step. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think it looks awesome for my first time. Like I said, this is not too difficult. The screen is what I thought would be the most difficult. I know they don't look the same. I can see that. From your angle, you see it way more than I do, but I know, like, I know they're not exactly the same, but you know what? Handmade. I'm not a robot. I'm not a machine. I'm a person, so I can only try to make it as accurate as possible. And then remember where I just filled in, the section where I just dug out the screen. I had to do that with this wonky cutter. So I am trying to do it as best as I can. I'm trying to make it as even as I can. It won't be perfect, but I will try to make them look as similar as possible. But for my first time, like, I knew this part, the shape of the Tamagotchi was fine. That's just shaping it with my hands, which I do a lot, so I'm good with that. It's just the screen part I knew it'd be difficult. Okay, so that I know here needs to go out a little bit more. Like, this one's perfect. I wish this one and this one looked exactly the same, but you know, that's handmade. You have to give and take a bit. Can't make everything perfect. And those of you who know me personally, you know I'm a perfectionist, so I would try my best to make it as perfect as possible. If this was a custom pair of earrings for a customer, I would have probably scrapped this, to be honest, and redo it to make it like that. But this is for me, so I'm not going to be so picky. But for a customer, I would want it to be as perfect as I can get it. So I would probably throw this one out. Actually, no, I wouldn't scrap it because it's still good. I'd probably keep it, make it into a keychain, and then redo another one for a customer because I noticed that this screen is actually bigger than that one. Yeah, now I'm seeing it. It's actually much bigger, but it's okay. It's for me. It's fine. Okay, so let's see. So to fill this, it's going to have to be resin, which will have to be after it's baked. The resin will go inside of here to make it look like the screen. So let's move on to, so in Tamagotchis, because I want to make the original one, like the one I had as a child, they do have, let me grab the angel, because the angel has, you can see it better on the angel because there's actually a crack around the egg, because you know when you get your Tama, you get an egg, right? And it does that bouncy thing and then it cracks. So this is my interpretation. I'm interpreting it around the screen here. It's cracked. So let me grab my angel quickly because that one has a different color contrast. This one blends in too much, so you can't see what I'm seeing. I think it's also my lights on my tripod. So let me just grab it really quickly and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I still have it in the box, so I'm just going to show you it in the box. So it's like really in the box. So here you go. So you can see the pink. It's like the egg cracked around there. So my stained glass has it too, but see how it's darker? It's like right here. So we're going to try and make that. I said the screen's gonna be hard. Okay, I'm sorry. I just realized this is gonna be the hardest. Trying to get this around it because each screen is a different size, so let's try it. That probably is gonna be the most challenging out of all of them. Yep. Oh, and I also just realized, I knew this before, but now I'm really realizing it. I'm gonna have to pull up a reference photo because there's actually indents in the Tamagotchi. There's one there too. So I might actually have to pull my angel back out of the box because I'm noticing there's actually indents in the shell of the Tamagotchi. So let's open the angel back. Because the angel has lighter colors. So see, there's a line here. A line here. And it looks like that's it. Okay, so 2 lines. But they line up with the cracks at the side. So we'll have to do that too. And I'll have to sculpt that into the actual shell. So I'm going to... Okay, so I need to grab a color then. So I need your guys' help again, please. In the chat, can you let me know? The poll takes too long. So if you can just write in the chat what color you think should go on the outside. I'm thinking maybe one of these purples because we did vote purple, right? The aubergine that Tristan likes and this. So maybe one of these purples could be around the frame, the glass, or the screen, I should say, the screen of the shell. So put in the chat what color you guys think should go around, or we can, so for those of you who just joined, when we first started, I did a poll of a color, like the colors that you would think would look good. So I did vibrant colors, pastel colors, blues and greens, and most people liked pastel and vibrant. So I'm thinking, because we did the base pastel, and I'm going to add details like my landscapes onto it, which will be more vibrant, maybe we should keep the crack part another pastel color, because when we add more details on here at the bottom, I think I want to do like flowers in a field at the bottom. I think it would look nice, and maybe a little sun here. Those will be vibrant colors, so maybe a pastel around the screen would look better. What do you guys think? Pastel color, vibrant color, white. White's an option too, so let me know what you think. I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds to choose. Please put your comments in the chat what you think would look good. Feeling the pastel colors. Let's see, vibrant. Tristan says vibrant. Okay. So what color vibrant then, Tristan? A hot pink? I can show you the hot pink I have. Because I was thinking like a pink, kind of like this. The angel is pink. I was thinking a pink. Tristan says vibrant, so I'll show you what the vibrant colors. I have a really like hot pink. No, too much? So there's like a hot pink. What else? Watermelon. Okay, so like a watermelon pink. I might have to mix that. I don't think I have it straight out the pack. I do have this color pink. Well, it's like a more red. Actually, that's a more red orange, but more red. That's a really hot pink. I have this pink. This pink actually has glitter in it. Can you see it? The Primo line from Sculpting has glitter. So, well, not the accents. Sorry, Primo Accents has glitter. So this one's actually going to be shiny. So there's glitter, if you can see it. If you guys think a glitter, this might actually work. The glitter, what do you guys think? With the glitter? Yes, no, or one of these? So 1, glitter, 2, or 3. Pick. If you want glitter, just say glitter. Bright, pastel. Or we can go completely the other direction and do blue. So, but I'm actually thinking, I don't like pink, by the way. For those of you who know me, you know pink is like a color I really don't like. But with this palette, I think pink might look nice because the idea of doing like the landscapes, I had a lot of yellows and peaches and pinks in mine, so it would match. Yeah, I kind of like the glitter too, Tristan. So, oh, thank you, Denisha, for your comments. I like it too, right? The glitter. I think it looks nice because it's not too bright like this one. It's kind of subtle and it kind of matches the pastel aesthetic, but there's glitter. And I know Tristan loves his glitter, so I think Tristan loves glitter more than me. Sorry, Tristan, I'm calling you out. I think he likes glitter more than me, so let's do glitter for Tristan. Okay, so let me just put these ones back. And we'll do the glitter. So I don't want to roll this through the Lucy, so I'm just going to cut piece off again with my blade, and I'm going to hand roll it, and then I'm going to use my acrylic roller to roll it out because the piece that we need for that is just going to get lost in the Lucy machine. So I'm just going to use my acrylic roller to roll that out. So I'll turn the music up so you guys can relax and lounge and have your night tea. I hope you guys are getting nice and relaxed so that you guys can sleep good tonight for tomorrow. Okay. For those of you who joined late, I'm having sparkling pineapple bubbly. So I love sparkling water. My brother's addicted to it, and this is his actually. I always drink his. So I'm having sparkling bubbly pineapple water, and I'm burning a pineapple. I don't want to tilt it too much because there's wax. A pineapple candle to match my pineapple water. That'll be my night drink for the night. I usually drink tea, black tea in specific, but Earl Grey. It has caffeine and sometimes it keeps me awake, so I've cut out completely drinking tea after like 6 o'clock. Usually caffeine does not put me to bed, but then my family realized like why I have so much insomnia sometimes at night is it might be that I'm drinking like a big, like 1 liter, because I have like my big bottle, my big thermos of Earl Grey tea, which is full of caffeine at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And that's what might be keeping me up at night. So it's been a couple months actually. I didn't realize it, but it's been almost at least a year where I stopped drinking my black tea at night. So I try to just stick to hot water, which I have in my thermos here. You can't see it, but I have my hot water here. And then I have my bubbly water. And I do have a water bottle with room temperature water because sometimes the hot water is too hot to drink. So I did cut out my night teas. I just try to have it right after dinner. It kind of like helps me cut my sugar cravings. I don't have crazy sugar cravings, but sometimes it's like I want to have something, but I'm not hungry. It's just like I just want to have something. So the tea is what I used to use to cut that, because the tea usually would, like, you know when you eat and you want something after, like Jamaicans, we have a joke, like you want something sweet after you eat. It's not that I want something sweet, it's just like I kind of wanted to eat something after I ate, even though I was not hungry, and I don't need it, so I would have tea, but then the tea has the caffeine, and then I have insomnia where I'm trying to sleep, and I don't sleep till like 5 a.m., and I have to wake up to go to work for 9 a.m., so I cut out the tea, but this water's been good. So thank you to my brother, he knows who he is. Thanks for the sparkling water. And we do have a soda stream at home. I just need to buy more canisters, And then I didn't know, my partner and I, we were in Canadian Tire. For those who are Canadian, you know what that is. Canadian Tire actually had the Buble drops for your sparkling water. So I was like, what? I need to buy another canister for the soda stream. So you use the soda stream and then you use the Buble drops, and then it will just taste just like that. I know much money you can save, so that's something I'm going to try next time. And they had a lot of flavor, so that was really exciting. So this is Sculpey, so it's pretty much conditioned. You can see how quick that was. Remember I told you Sculpey? Sculpey is a very soft clay, and it's not one of my favorites. Like, I prefer Fimo because it's harder. But you can see it's already soft just from rolling it a couple times. So I'm gonna roll it out flat manually because this is too small to go into Lucy. Like, I could put it in Lucy, but it's just gonna get lost in there because the machine is so big. It's like industrial. So I'm just gonna roll it out by hand, and then we'll cut into it. So this is actually, like I said, I don't like pink, but ooh, this is a nice color. So from this pack, you can see I've only bought this pack once. So you can see I've not used it a lot. Like, I haven't used it. This is where it used to be. This is what the pack looks like. You can see I've only used this much of it. I've had this for years. For those of you who are not familiar with polymer clay, the only way to cure it is to bake it. So that's why I can have this for years open like that. It won't cure unless it goes into an oven. So yeah, I haven't used this color a lot, but like now I'm rolling it out. I might have done it a little bit too thin, but it's okay. Like, I kind of like it. Sorry, I just dropped the blade. Bear with me, the blade just slipped between my table. Okay, so this is actually a very nice color. Look at that. Can you see the shimmer? That's not grease, that's like the color. It's very shimmery. Pretty, right? Yeah, it's like I blew up bubble gum and exploded it and it stretched out, right? It looks so glossy. Look, it looks like there's baby oil on here. But it's not. It's a shimmer from the clay. Very pretty. So we're gonna eyeball this, as everything I do. Let's eyeball it. So I'm just gonna try and get the parts of the flattest, so I don't need this. Cut that away. So I know it's no bigger than that, right? Did I just cut it too small? That's the thing about eyeballing. Remember, today we are doing trial and error. Okay, I think it's actually good. Okay, I think it's okay. Because the border's not too big. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, there. So my border's not too big, but I think I might have cut it too small. We'll see in a second. Okay. So it's okay if I did. It's just you restart. Remember I told you first time doing this, I'm gonna make mistakes. So I'm just thinking in my head quickly how I'm gonna do this. So bear with me again, please. Trial and error with this. This is gonna be a lot of experimentation. And I'm gonna look like I don't know what I'm doing, and that's because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going with it and trying to just think logically what would work. Okay, so let me put that there. Happy accidents. Yes, Bob Ross. There's no such thing as mistakes, only happy accidents. Thank you, Tristan, for that reminder. I love Bob Ross. Such an inspiration. There is no such thing as mistakes. Only happy accidents. And I can attest to that. So many times I mess things up and they actually work out after. I'm like, okay, it worked out. So this is an interesting color. It's like the purple and the green from here, mixing it together. It's a interesting color, but we'll keep that there. I do keep my clay, by the way. Don't throw that out. I use this scrap clay, so if I was building something and I only need clay on the inside, I would keep that for scrap clay and put it on the inside. So, yeah. Yes, it is. Thank you, Easy 8. It's a Tamagotchi. So I just started collecting these about a month ago. I already have 3. This one's a rare one, so I was so happy to get this one. I looked for this in 20 stores and I couldn't find it, so I was able to find it from someone who was selling it. In Canada, I don't know if they released them or not, but someone found it in the States and she lived in Canada and I bought it from her, so I'm very thankful for that. So this is the Gen 1 from the 1990s we had as a kid, and this is the Angel, which is a Generation 3, and then I have the Uni, which is like from 2023, and then the Paradise is coming out in July, so I'm gonna get that too. So I'll have 4. This one's sleeping, this one's off because I'm done playing with it, because I am playing with the Gen 1, which is like the best one because it reminds me of my childhood, but that one's sleeping right now. So that's what we're making Tamagotchi earrings. This is my first time, so it's trial and error right now. Like, I'm making mistakes, but that's how it is when you're sculpting with clay. I am a miniature artist, so I do sculpt miniatures, and I thought I would just sculpt some Tamagotchi earrings thanks to Tristan, his awesome idea. So thank you, Easy8, for being here. Thank you for your comment, and I hope you stay with us. So we're working on adding the cracks right now that's around the screen onto here. I'm just trying to figure it out, like I said, first time, so I'm trying to see how I can you know, get that on there. Because I don't have a template for the size of the screen, so I'm going to be doing a lot of weird stuff. Just ask me in the comments what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to get the shape of it like that. See, you can see it, right? Just so I know where I'm going to be cutting, so I gotta be gentle with this. A lot of trials and error in this live. Like that, that worked, right? Looks good. So I kind of have a template there. So I can kind of see that the screen is like that. I did indent it in because I know it's not completely flat. So I think that worked. So let's try the next one. So those of you who think Tamagotchis are dead, they're not. Tamagotchis are still alive. I just joined a couple of Discord groups and a lot of Facebook groups that are very active. Like, they post a lot of things every day. And the area that I live in, well, I'm a little bit north of it, but the main city that I'm in, they have a club too, and they had like a meeting up to like 2 weeks ago. So very active, very alive. I thought, even when I showed my brothers that I got one, they're like, they still make those? I'm like, yeah, they just made this one, the Uni, like in 2023, and there's one coming out in July. So they're Bandai's still making a lot of things, and there's a lot of people who still play it, and it's not only kids, it's adults as well. So it's like our childhood memories. Thank you, Tristan, for your comment about me being smart. Improvised. Like I said, I don't want to boast, but I'm when it comes to problem solving, I don't know, I think that's where I'm good at puzzles and escape rooms and stuff like that. I kind of had that mind where it's like MacGyver. My mom actually calls me MacGyver sometimes because I'm able to just look at something and then mentally figure out how I can fix it without actually doing it. I can see it in my head, like I kind of fix it in my head, and then I physically do it. So that's why I was kind of taking a little bit of time looking at it, like, how can I do this? Because I was mentally picturing how to do it in my head before I physically do it, if that makes sense. So I think this actually worked very well. So I'm just going to cut the middle out. I'm going to lay it over the Tamagotchi just to make sure the measurements are okay. And then we'll cut out those cracks. Okay, not bad. What do you guys think? not bad, right? This one feels a little bit thinner because I did use the acrylic roller, so it's a little bit thin. But we'll work with it. This happens, right? I told you this is trial and error, trial and error. So I'm just gonna try my best to clean it up. Also, if I'm not in view, please let me know because I keep zooming in and out. If you can't see, just please let me know. My moderator, he's been updating me with text messages, so thank you, Tristan, so much. You're the best. If anything I miss in the comment, because my head is down all the time. And I do look up a little bit, but sometimes I miss things, so. Leave your comment below and he'll let me know if I don't see it. All right, so let's do this one first because I already have it on. And we'll just keep this one to the side for now. And it seems like this Tamagotchi is going to be my difficult one. Whenever I'm doing things, there's always a whole group that's good and then just always one difficult one. It reminds me of myself. One that just doesn't want to behave. So I'm just going to crease it in. And then we're going to cut it. So this is a little bit off. So I'm going to lift it and move it a little bit more. Okay. And it looks a little choppy right now, but I'll fix that later with the rubbing alcohol. So let's see what the outside thing looks like. Okay. So I'm going to use my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to cut the cracks into it. Gonna take a little sparkling water break, hydration. Pineapple. My pineapple candle. Okay. So I don't know if I want to make it the exact same, but I'll keep this here for a reference. Sorry. Yeah. Tab's kind of annoying, but I don't know. Should I make it the exact same or just do zigzags? You think anyone would really notice that I didn't do it the exact same? I feel like I probably would, but would other people? Well, this is a KJB Tamagotchi, so I guess I get the creative freedom to do it the way I want to, right? Anyone else agree with me? Just do what feels right. No stress about making it perfect. Sorry, I was out of frame. Sorry. Okay. I gotta remember that you guys are here. So I'm just gonna readjust the light. I'm sorry. Totally forgot. Because I had it up to my face to see. Okay. Is that better? What do you guys think? It's so funny. Thank you for those emojis. It's so funny. Yes. I know it's like anxiety, right? When I'm doing things, it's like you're nervous. I'm nervous too because I got to keep my hands steady with the blade, but I love seeing your emotions in the comments when I'm doing things like that. Like you guys feel as nervous as I do. What do you guys think about that? Like I'm excited. This is my first time sculpting a Tamagotchi, and for me, this in my head, this would have been the hardest part. And after this, I think everything will be good. I like it so far. I'm just trying to clean up here. I don't like the way the top looks. There's a little pieces, but it looks good, right? What do you guys think? Think about, sorry, comment in the chat below what you guys think so far of this. The top, I'm just gonna try and clean it up a little bit. It's a little bit messier than I want it to be. So, sorry, I'm gonna just take it off camera just a little bit so I can see better because I do have a light over my head, a phone in my face, and then my tripod is just right in front of my view. So I don't get to see up close, and then sometimes I need to see up close for small details. I did buy a magnifying tripod, but the thing is there's nowhere for your phone, so I can't use it and record, so you guys wouldn't even be able to see what I see with it. So I'm just gonna bring this up to my face. I'm gonna quickly fix it, and then I'll bring it back to you guys so you can see. I'm just gonna clean it up a bit because I did put some indentations with the knife, which is going to happen, like I said, first time sculpting this, so there will be some mistakes, but we will work through it together. Yeah, you like it? I think it looks cool. Yeah. So I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit with some rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. Some of those imperfections that I did with the knife, just to get it smooth. When I resin it, it would make it smooth as well, but I want to fix it at its source and not rely on resin to make it smooth, you know what I mean? So when the resin goes on, it has to do less work and it'll just look the best from the beginning. So yeah, I like it. Okay, so I'm going to do the next one. The next one, first one always takes the longest because it's your first time doing it. So you gotta overcome a lot of obstacles, but this one will be a lot faster. You'll see. And then if you ask me to make this again in another couple weeks or even tomorrow, this whole process will be a lot faster. It's always the slowest to do it at the beginning because it's your first time and you're just trying to maneuver through what to do and figure out what steps to do next and how to do it. So trial and error, like I said. So this one will be a lot faster. So I'm just going to put it on. I think I might have cut this hole a little bit too big. I'm just going to try and line it up as best as possible. So I still had this fan on. I'm gonna turn it off. It's like making vibration noises. Okay. So let's attempt this one now. Clean this up a bit. All right. Okay, so the frame of this one is not going to look like this one. Like I said, I like to make things look different. I'm going to try and make it look as close as possible, but I'm not going to stress myself out trying to make it the exact same. It's okay if it looks different. But I am happy the way this one looks. It looks really good. Thank you, Tristan, for the idea. because I know I wanted to sculpt today, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Um, I wasn't sure if I wanted to start my charcuterie series yet. I will be starting it soon, and maybe in the next 3 weeks. So this is good. This is refreshing. It's not on my list of things to do. Tristan knows I'm very organized. I actually showed him my list today. I don't even know, Tristan. Is there like 100 things on that list of things I want to make by November? I know I can't do 100, but I have a priority list and I have another list. And I wanted to make something on that list. But then he said to do this. And I kind of like it because there's no pressure to make it completely perfect. You know, first time. So I can experiment and be more creative with it. So like it's a nice outlet to be able to be creative without the pressure. Because sometimes there is pressure to make things exactly the way I envision them. So it's just nice to not have to do that. So I thank you, Tristan, for the Tamagotchi suggestion. He told me earlier during the day today when I was at work. So I was thinking about it a little bit, but not too much because my work is very stressful today. But I did like ponder, okay, I don't know what color I want to do, so I'm just going to do a poll. So thank you to those who answered the poll. You guys were tied between pastel and vibrant colors. And I did have other options like blues and greens, but I like that you picked pastels and bright colors because the base is pastel, and I think this color combination looks bomb. Bandai, don't take my color combination idea. Our combination idea, color combination idea. And then we're gonna add some like a field of flowers at the bottom, very small, down here, and like maybe a sun up in the corner with some vibrant colors. So it's like a combination of both. Like I said, we don't have to pick one palette. We can do a collab and put our ideas together, and that's always the best thing, right? Not when it's just one person's idea, but when you work as a team and you do multiple people's ideas together, things work out better. At least in my opinion. Everyone else has their thing, but for me, I think it works like that when you pool your ideas together. Okay, so almost done. This one, I feel like I'm not cutting because I'm a little bit nervous because I have to clean this one up because I did cut it too deep near the top. You can see like the, I'm not too worried about it because the resin, I'm going to resin them. So the resin will fill in here, but you can see that I kind of cut a little bit too deep on the first one. So I'm trying not to do that with this one, but I feel like I might have to go back in and cut a little bit more. So we'll see. We'll see. And then I'll know for next time how deep to cut. And if you're going to ask, well, I'm going to answer before if anyone has a question about that. How do I know how deep I'm cutting? It's all feelings. It's all in your hands. It's all what you feel in your hands. I guess you can say you need sensitive hands for this. I don't know. I'm not sure. But you can feel it. Hard to, I don't know. Some things it's just hard. I don't know. When it comes to me as like second nature, I don't know how to describe it. Like I can feel when it's too deep. Like see, I did that a little bit too deep, so I'm going to clean that one up. That corner, I took off too much purple. I cut it too deep and it crumbled. I'll fix that with the rubbing alcohol and smooth it out. But yeah, it's just hard to say. Like it's I can just feel the depth of it, so. Gotta have sensitive hands, I guess? Delicate hands? Yeah. I'm gonna clean that up a bit with more rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. Oh no, I rubbed too much. Gotta be gentle. Remember I told you the rubbing alcohol kind of softens the clay. I kind of rubbed too much. You see it lift? Yeah, I got it though. So gotta be gentle. Nice and gentle. So the thing about using rubbing alcohol, you see how it kind of looks like it's getting white? Once the alcohol dries, it won't look so white. It's just a transfer of colors, and you can also just use a clean Q-tip and clean it up after. Because it looks like the color's transferring, right? Which it kind of is a little bit, but like the white cast, it will disappear in a bit once it dries. So how's that look, guys? What do you think? Comment in the chat. How do you think that looks so far? So I'm just gonna let this dry for a little bit. And then we're gonna add the buttons and then we're gonna start decorating. So let me know what you guys think. I'm just gonna let this dry for a little bit again with the fan. I'm gonna take another bathroom break and I'll be back in less than 60 seconds. little bit more time before we start. Someone suggested to show you the tamas, but they're sleeping right now, unfortunately. So when they're sleeping, I can't wake them up, but I can show you. So on my uni, this is my second Tamagotchi on the uni. My second Tama, I should say. The first one, I married him off because he kept asking to leave. He wanted to be with strong Tamagotchis, aka he wanted to be a man, like leave and have his own life. And he kept asking me, so I just took him on a date and I found a mermaid Tamagotchi, so I married him off, which is cute. They actually have like a marriage ceremony. So he got married and he didn't want to have his kid no more, so he had the egg and gave it to me. So this is his offspring. That's funny. So him and his wife are living life. So this is the offspring. She's sleeping now, so I can't show you what she looks like, but she's sleeping. She is, I think she's a teenager right now. It's been about a week. And then my other Tama from, this is like the original one from the 90s. This is a generation 1, which most of you are used to, like me. This is the one I had as a kid. This one's sleeping as well, so you can see. And this one's also a teenager. So that's sleeping. Sorry, I can't interact with them. You can't wake them up, unfortunately. So I could just turn the light back off. So that's the 2 Tamas I have right now that I'm actually playing with. And then the angel, I turned it off because I want to be playing with 3 of them. I just want to be doing these 2. I just got this one last week, so that's why I'm playing with it now. And the angel always changes, like you said, like I showed you. Sorry, like I said, you can marry them off and do all the things. The angel, I turned it off for now, so I just put the tab back in. If you want to learn more about these ones, I do have a live that I did about 2 weeks ago. So check that out. It's on my page. There is a new Tamagotchi coming out in July. Not sure when it will be released in Canada, maybe August. So I'm excited about that one. So I will be getting that, and I'll be having 4 Tamagotchis. So it's like my new kind of thing that I've been collecting. I've been wanting to collect them for a while, maybe like the past 6 years. But I never got into it. So I thank Tristan, my partner, for really encouraging me to like do me and things that I enjoy. I deserve them. I do work very hard, so I deserve to have something that, like I said earlier in my live, it helps me relax in those off times, because you don't have to take care of them all the time. But when I do take a break, I might take a walk, and I actually walk with this Tamagotchi. Tristan and I actually went during my lunch break yesterday, we actually went for an hour walk, and we walked the Tamagotchi because it comes with a wrist band, so you can wear it like a watch. So we actually walked the Tamagotchi while we were walking, so I was getting my steps on my smartwatch and on the Tamagotchi, so it was happy too. So like it's just like a mental release for me, because I do have a stressful job and I do have a stressful business, because business is stressful even though it's art. So the Tamagotchis do help me mentally release, so I don't feel bad for getting them, and they're like childhood memories, so it's like a nostalgia, right? Okay, so I'm gonna stop ranting, and these look like they're almost done. So let's do a quick vote in the chat. Should I add something on the screen in the bottom before I resin it, or should we just go to decorating? Because I want to do like a kind of like a field of like maybe flowers. Like I just had this as inspiration that I do landscape earrings. This is all clay, it's not paint, it's like painting with clay. So I wanted to paint with clay on the Tamagotchis, but I was thinking like a field of flowers. What do you guys think? Quickly in the chat, if you can let me know. Should we do a flower field with maybe a sun at the top, or do you want to work on the inside and make a field on the inside, or both? Inside field quickly, that's very minimalistic, and then I'll do resin so it looks like the screen, and then on the outside shell we can do a few flowers as well. So let me know. Give you guys about 30 seconds to vote what you guys think. Field inside and outside, or keep the screen minimalistic like the original and only the shell of the Tamagotchi will be detailed. What do you guys think? Any suggestions? You're almost dry, so I'm going to start in about 20 seconds and I'll look for your comments on your suggestions and we'll begin. some hills now in the background. That's the path. So we're going to add some hills with some green. Different variations of green. Oh, sorry, zoomed in. So different variations of green. We're going to add some hills and then some flowers in the field to keep it a little bit simple because it's so small. And then I wanted to put either the sun on the outside, on the shell, or on the screen. So let me know what you think is better. So I'll build the landscape inside the Tamagotchi, and then I'll let it expand out on the shell, which is the outside. Because I kind of wanted to keep the screen very simple, like the original Tamagotchi from the 90s. But I thought maybe, no, let's do the landscape inside because I have a good frame for it. And then the landscape can spill out onto the shell. So let me know what you guys think. So what color do you guys think I should do the flowers? I'm going to do some flowers in the bushes here. So what color do you think I should do? Please leave your comments in the chat. I was thinking yellow for some sunflowers inside the screen. And then on the shell on the outside, maybe I can do some of the purples that we chose before. I still have them here. The purples. Thanks to Online House Party for their purple suggestion. So I was thinking some purples, because purple and yellow on the color wheel, they're complementary colors, so they do match and they stick out very well. So I was thinking if I do some yellow sunflowers on the screen on the inside, which is going to be covered by resin so I can match these screens, and then on the outside I can do some purple flowers. So what do you guys think? Let me know. So I'll give you guys about a minute to respond in the chat what you guys think. And then we'll continue on, add in flowers in the fields. Okay, guys, I think I'm done for tonight. I have work in the morning, so I'm gonna call it a night. But I think we did very good. We did really good for my first time. These are gonna be sunflowers, so I'm gonna go back in later and add brown dots in the middle, and then I'm gonna expand out. So maybe I won't do that on my own. I'll go back live and we can continue that. So because this is my pair of earrings, my Tamagotchi earrings, and they're not for my business. I think I will keep this and we'll do a part 2. So I won't work on it anymore. I'll just keep it for a part 2 of a live. So I want to thank you all for being here with me. I hope you guys were relaxed. This was very relaxing for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed the sculpt, and we will continue finishing these up on my next live. So this is a good like side project where I can take my time and do it. No stress. I think they look really good so far. So this is like a collaborative effort. I never came up with the colors. We did it together, so I like that. I like that we have, when I did the poll in the beginning, we chose what color scheme for the shell. We did pastels, and then a lot of people wanted the vibrant colors, but we decided to go with this nice pink, which is a glitter. So I'm glad we did that. And then the idea to do a landscape where the screen is and then expand it out onto the shell. And I will attempt to write Tamagotchi in very tiny letters at the top, so that's going to be a challenge. I think the Tamagotchi letters at the top is going to be a bigger challenge than what I thought would have been, which is the cracks around the screen. I thought that was going to be the hardest part besides having to dig out the screen. But now that I think about it, I just added that we should add Tamagotchi just now, so I just challenged myself now, which is fine. I like to challenge myself. So writing Tamagotchi on the top is going to be my greatest challenge. So I look forward to it. So on my next live, I think we'll do a part 2, or technically a part 3, because when I started this live, I have like a blooper because I messed it up. So there's a blooper, there's this one, part 2. So we'll do a part 2, 3 to these. So I will leave these as is, and I'll give you a last glance of what we've done. And we did a really good job. I'm just going to have to sharpen this up a bit because I want it to look more like a path. So I'll sharpen up the path a little bit more, and we'll add more dimension to the tree so they pop more. And then the sunflowers will get brown inside. We'll add a sun. I'm not sure. Right now I was thinking of the sun outside of the shell as of right now, but that might change. Might put it inside, but we'll clean it up a little bit more so it looks more like a landscape inside. And then we will work on the outside. I'll bake it and maybe have a part 4 technically. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, a part 4 where I will resin inside. So we'll flood this whole thing with UV resin so it looks like a screen, and it will be hard just like a screen. So all this will be encased, and I think it'll look really cool. So I thank you once again for joining me on my first time sculpting Tamagotchis into earrings, my new obsession and collection, and we're sculpting them into earrings. But we're doing like a little kitten jelly boutique twist where we're adding what I'm known for, my landscape earrings. We're making them into Tamagotchi. So they're Tamagotchi landscape polymer clay earrings. So making it a little bit unique there, and miniatures. So I thank you once again so much for joining me, and I hope everyone has a blessed week and everyone had a great day. And I really hope that you enjoyed the sculpt, and I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you when we continue to finish these. And I have a lot more things. I'd like to life sculpt, like I said before in my previous lives, that my goal is for my business is to sculpt live a lot more. So far I've done well. This is my fourth live, so I think I've been doing very well. I know it's already half the year, it's 6 months, but I just started maybe 6 weeks ago with my lives, and before that it's because I had a big show, so I wasn't able to go live. So in the 6 weeks, going live 4 times, having a full-time job outside of my business, I think that is pretty good. I hope so. So I hope you will join me for the rest of my lives later on. We will finish this next on a part 4. Look out for that notification. It will be next week, hopefully Monday, because I kind of want Mondays to be my live sculpt. If not, Mondays on a whimsical Saturday night. Saturday nights are usually nights where I actually work and build stock, but sometimes, like last time, I went live because I felt like it. But check out if you subscribe to me and put on the notifications, you can know if I'm gonna go live. So it might be a Saturday night. Mondays are my designated sculpt days, after afternoon, evening, nighttime. And then randomly, like today is a Wednesday, so I'm live now. But if you subscribe to my channel and you turn on the notifications, it'll let you know when I go live. So thank you for being here with me, and I hope you all have a really good night and a blessed week. Take care. Goodbye. Good night, everyone. Have a good night.